I never thought I'd be the kind of person to post something like this, but I guess I just need to get it off my chest. I'm 32, live in Queens, New York, and I've worked at a small manufacturing company for the past 8 years. We make custom metal parts for HVAC systems. Nothing glamorous, just functional stuff. I started as a machine operator after college and slowly worked my way up to production supervisor. It wasn't a high-paying job, but it was stable. I liked the rhythm of the machines, the smell of metal, the constant hum of the factory floor before the city fully woke up. I liked feeling useful. Mark, my boss, was the plant manager. Big, loud, always joking, always in everyone's business. On the surface, he seemed friendly, but beneath that grin was a kind of menace. You never quite knew what would set him off. He thrived on people being tense. I could see it in the way he watched us, the way he smiled when someone made a small mistake. He'd find someone to blame for anything. Always. Never himself. Life was manageable. I had Emily, my girlfriend, and a routine I'd grown used to. My mornings started at 5:30 a.m., the alarm jarring me awake, coffee brewing while I got dressed, subway rides that were always packed and suffocating in the summer. I'd think about the production schedule, about which machines I'd need to check before the line started at 7 a.m., about who was running late and which operators were cutting corners. It was monotonous, yes, but predictable, until 6 months ago. That's when we got a massive order from a hospital chain, $200,000 worth of custom parts that needed to be precise to a fraction of a millimeter. Mark became obsessed with speed. We can't afford delays, he'd bark across the floor, pacing like a predator. Overtime became mandatory. Double shifts, shortened lunch breaks, skipped inspections, anything to get the shipment out on time. I flagged issues constantly, but Mark brushed them off, saying, "We'll fix it later." I remember the Friday the shipment left. I stayed late, watching the packages being loaded, thinking about the checklists I'd signed off on. The night inspector had signed off. Machines were calibrated, or so I thought. I didn't know that the calibration logs were being faked. I didn't know Mark had already decided someone would take the fall. Monday morning, I got the call. The client was furious. Half the shipment was unusable. Refund and remanufacture required. $50,000 lost in a heartbeat. My stomach sank. I walked into Mark's office, trying to keep my face neutral. "Hey man," he said, smiling like we were buddies. "Looks like line 2 got out some bad parts. You were supervising that shift, right?" I explained everything. I'd flagged the calibration issues. I'd told him to stop production. QC signed off, and I had messages to prove it. He nodded. He made notes. He didn't argue. I realized then he was documenting everything, watching for the exact moment to pin this on me. 2 days later, HR called me in. Internal review, they said. "Your oversight may have contributed to the error. I tried to explain. Show the logs, the messages, the QC sign-offs." They smiled politely and said, "We'll take that into consideration." Wednesday, I was suspended, pending further investigation like I was guilty before anyone looked at the facts. I came home that night and just sat on the couch, staring at the ceiling. Emily tried to reassure me, but I could see the worry in her eyes. Deep down, I knew how this ends. Middle managers like me, the ones in the trenches, are always disposable. The meeting that followed was brutal. HR, Mark, and Richard, the company owner, a man who barely knew my name. "We've determined that this error originated from supervisory negligence," they said. "Your employment is terminated effective immediately. 2 weeks severance if I signed a non-disparagement agreement. Shut up, or get nothing." I didn't sign. Walking out, Mark patted me on the shoulder. "Tough break," he said. "I'll give you a good reference if anyone calls." I wanted to hide him. Instead, I drove home silently, gripping the steering wheel until my knuckles hurt. Since then, it's been a nightmare. I've done odd jobs, delivery driving, warehouse work, anything I can get. My name is now tainted in the local manufacturing world. $50,000 mistake, even if it wasn't mine, that sticks. I tried appealing to Richard directly, sending all the documentation, all the messages, everything. No response. Later, a former coworker told me Mark got promoted. Operations director now. He spun the story as though he had heroically fixed a process failure. My name? Never mentioned. Life after that has been a blur. I wake up late, scroll job postings I'm overqualified for, drink too much coffee, eat takeout, Emily has been patient, but I can see the doubt creeping in. Every time she asks about interviews, I say, something might come through, but I don't believe it. I replay the events constantly. Could I have documented more? Gone to HR sooner? Walked out when Mark told me to ignore the numbers? Maybe, but in the moment, you just survive. You keep your head down. You don't see the trap until it snaps shut. Some days, I drive past a plant, machines still running, lights on, my old team still there, probably breaking their backs under Mark's fake smile. I wonder if they know the truth. I ran into one of them at a diner once. He jokingly mentioned we still use pulling at my name when something goes wrong. I laughed. Inside, I was shaking. I've thought about changing careers completely, starting over somewhere quiet, but 32 is old for that in NYC. Too many responsibilities, too many bills, too much baggage. The worst part? I survived. I'm alive. But everything I believed about fairness, loyalty, and work is gone. I watch people rush to meetings, deadlines, emails, and I feel frozen in time. I share this here because someone has to know. Protect yourself. Document everything. Trust no one who can gain by throwing you under the bus. Loyalty in the corporate world means nothing. I'm alive, but a part of me is dead. A part of me that believed in work, in fairness, in being treated decently. That part? Gone. Every morning I wake up, drag myself through the subway, and think about the factory. I see Mark's face, the smugness, the fake smile, and I feel that slow burn in my chest. I'll survive, yes, but I'll never trust work like I did. I'll never feel safe in a job again. I'll never be the same. And that's the reality.